good and the bad consequences. Yeah, boy.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all you Xander Man listeners and dear viewers out there. Welcome back to Xander Man. Got another motivational one coming to y'all, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all on the community post, if you've seen the community post, you should already know what's happening. This video is about consequences, good and bad consequences. Now let me explain a little something. When most people hear the word consequence, they think of it as a negative connotation. But it's not always a negative connotation. No. Consequences can be a positive thing in life. It can be a positive connotation. As they say, every action has a reaction. So let's get started, shall we? Let me explain the good and bad consequences. Now, a consequence in my own word is basically what I just said. If an action has a reaction. If you do some good, you get a good reward. If you do something bad, you're going to get a bad reward. Which one should I start off with first? Should I go into the negative or positive consequences? I'm going to start off with the negative consequences. Because y'all already know when y'all hear the word consequence, oh, I'm in trouble. I did something bad. And most likely when y'all say, when you do something that like breaking the law or being bad in school or not doing your schoolwork as you should, and the principal call you in the office and he say, hey, you right there, if you don't start doing your work, you're going to have serious consequences. Now, most likely when you hear serious consequences, you like, oh Lord, what did I do? How can I bring this up? How can I make this up to you? Most likely, you already know what the negative consequence is going to be. You're not going to probably graduate or you get held back in that grade, but let's get down into it. We're going to start with the negative consequences. The negative consequences now, you're going to experience some positive and negatives. Now, the negative ones, say, for example, if you out here breaking the law or you doing something real illegal or you're doing something you shouldn't supposed to do, you riding 100 miles per hour in the neighborhood where a school that they got children going to school, where the negative consequence is going to be you either getting a ticket, you going to jail. It could be a serious one, such as, it could be a dangerous consequence. You hitting one of the children who's supposed to be going to that school. That's not safe. That's a bad action on your part, and that action is going to have a negative reaction. Another negative consequence is you out here, let's say, you out here in the real world, right? You decide to drop out of school, and then you decide not to go to college. You decide not to do nothing with your life. But the negative consequences that you most likely are not going to be able to pursue that job you want. It's going to be you not being able to pursue that dream you want. You got to work towards some things. You cannot just drop out of high school and not go to school and get a diploma and go to get a degree and just say, if you just drop out just like that, don't say that dream gonna come to you, because it's not. You have to finish school. You have to get a degree in what you want to do. So that consequence is going to follow. You're not going to be able to get the job you want. You're not going to be able to get a job you want out here in the real world. That's a negative consequence on your part. Now, another example. These just some plain consequences on the plain scenarios I'm just playing out for you guys. You know, you you cooking in the house, but you decide to leave the stove on and you got your macaroni or whatever up there boiling. You decide to go run to the stove. It's gonna be fine. Let me just leave my food up there on the stove. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. And next thing you know, you come back. You wonder why the house on smoking. You wonder why you got the fire trucks at your house. You left the stove on. So you know what that consequence is gonna be? It's gonna be your house either number one getting burnt down or number two your house almost getting burnt down. Now that's gonna be a consequence on your part. Then you're gonna have let's get off the negative consequences. I want to talk more about the positive consequence. You have positive consequences, ladies and gentlemen. You have positive consequences. With every good thing you do comes every positive consequence. You have, for example, now, like me, I would like to help out people in the community, like to help out the homeless. Just say, for example, you giving to the community, well, the positive consequence is going to be the community giving right back to you and recognizing you. Most likely, they'll look at you as a hero. Most likely, they'll look at you as a role model because you're doing things, you stepping up basically to help the homeless, to help out the community. Heck, if you want to help little children out, with the consequences, you'll be looked at as a hero or a role model. I would love to be looked at as a role model. I love helping out people. I'm not going to let you sit there and fall behind. My action is to help you out. So the reaction I should be getting is a positive one. Now, not every good thing gonna come with a positive consequence now. Not every good thing, because then, you got some of those people out there that like, he doing this and I don't want to do stuff like that. I want to go do, I want to go do this on my own and this. And basically, they not stepping up. You stepped up. You chose to step up. Another positive consequence now. Back to the school-related topic. You do your schoolwork. The more you do your schoolwork, you can graduate on time. A positive consequence. You get held back in the grade, the later you holding back that graduation date. That's a negative consequence. But if you do what you're supposed to do and you stay on top of what of your schoolwork or your grind, most likely you're going to succeed in life and you're going to graduate. You have positive and negative ones out here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't always think that a consequence is a negative thing, because it's just not. It's just not a negative thing. If you think what you Jason and Damien, y'all think a consequence is always a negative thing when you hear the word consequence?
No.
Every time I hear the word consequence, I think of it could be a negative or a positive. It depends on what you're doing. If you know what you did as a negative, you'll learn not to make those same mistakes again. You will learn not to make those same mistakes. You'll learn from those mistakes. So you ain't got to suffer that same consequence again, or that consequence could be serious. Just say, for example, you instigating to start a fight at school, where your consequences more likely is going to be your parents get called, you're going to get suspended or maybe expelled. We don't want those consequences here at the school. We don't need that type of consequence. That's a serious reaction to your action you have caused. Consequences happens to everyone, no matter who you are, how perfect you are, because you all perfect. We all perfect in our own ways. Ain't that right, ladies and gentlemen? We all perfect in our own ways. So just because well, I'm the perfect one, I ain't never gonna get in trouble. You can't never say that. You can't never say that, because you never know what can happen to your future self. And you shouldn't focus on the past. It's time to focus on the present and future. What your actions going to do for other people. Y'all know that quote I put in here. the playing field level choice is yours to make. Good, you can either make a good decision or a bad decision. It can have a positive impact or a negative impact on you and the people around you. And that impact, so basically what I just said was the playing field is level, the choice is yours to make. You can either make a good decision, they come out with good consequences, or a bad decision, it come out with negative consequences. It can have a positive impact or a negative impact. Now, that's the reaction part. That consequences is just a reaction to your action. I know I said that plenty of times, but I'm trying to get into y'all's head because y'all think when y'all hear the word consequence. Now, you might got some who don't always think that consequence is a negative thing, but I'm here to tell you on the channel that a consequence is not always a negative thing. You can't always rely on the past, what you did. You can just look forward into the present nowadays, and you can look forward into the future maybe years from now. Because who knows? You could never be getting in trouble at school, and all of a sudden you end up getting to some trouble that you didn't have to get into. Or it could be a scenario where you were just around it and they somehow happened to see you in it, and now you got to go up there and explain yourself. And who knows what kind of consequence you're going to get. Who knows what kind of consequence we're going to expect in life. It's a learning experience, ladies and gentlemen. We all going to learn. You just don't start learning when you out your teenage years and up to your 20s. I'm still going to learn. We all still going to learn. Isn't that right, Jason and Damien?
Yep.
I said, isn't that right, Jason and Damien?
Yep.
We all are going to learn. Learning doesn't stop. People in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s are still going to learn no matter what age you are. You still going to learn. And we all going to make mistakes because we all human just like that. We all going to make mistakes. We all going to make mistakes. You can't say that you haven't made a mistake in life because I'm pretty sure we all have. And we all learn from that consequence. From that mistake. We had consequences afterwards. For example, way back in November 2023, I decided to cut my own hair. Oh well, guess the consequence that followed after that? Hair started bleeding everywhere. I didn't know what I was really doing. Thought I was doing a good job until I felt all that warm stuff coming. Oh no, bleed everywhere. Hey, I learned from that. Never, ever cut your hair if you never had experience like that before. If nobody have showed you, never cut your hair. I had to learn that. Never cut your hair. If you don't have a barber showing you or somebody who you trust around you, never cut your hair. I had to learn it the hard way. Ladies and gentlemen. It's a true story. So anything you do, whether good or bad, it's going to follow a consequence. If you want to help out the community, if you want to help out children, if you want to, be there for someone, well, most likely you're going to be recognized and you're going to be looked at as a hero role model as that. If you do what you're supposed to do in school and you do what you're supposed to do on your job, most likely you're going to graduate, and most likely you might get a promotion in your job. Now, that's a good consequence. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then most likely a negative consequence. You're not going to graduate and you won't get a promotion. You will get demoted if you do such a horrible job and you haven't learned from that same mistake you made. We have to learn from mistakes. If you are not learning from mistakes, you're not getting none from the time. You have to. Ladies and gentlemen, this is true. I thought of this. You have to give time to get time. You got to give time for others to explain things to you, and you have to get time back to do what they are basically holding you accountable to do. I have, at me, if I want to be a public speaker, man, I have to give time to get time back. I had to give time for other speakers who want to go up there on the stage. And most likely I'm going to get time back to do my speech. Y'all know what I'm saying? That's actually true. Isn't that right, Jason and Damien?
Yep.
You have to give time to get time. I have thought of that. So give others a chance, and most likely you'll get a chance back. Give others a chance to clear their mistakes, and they give you a chance to clear your mistakes back. Give others a chance to, think about what they have done, so they don't have to have that consequence again. So you don't have to go through that same thing. You're getting time back. You don't want to be judged on what you do and don't do in life. We don't want to be judged, because judgment, I know I spoke on this on videos in the past, judgment is just going to happen. But if you want to judge, first you got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to judge yourself first before you go judging others. Because if you can't judge yourself first, and you go out here judging others about what they do and what they don't do and how they do it and whatnot, you're a hypocrite. You can't be doing stuff like that. The most likely you're going to get consequences back. Now, this is something I can't stand, is when some of us, we don't look ourselves in the mirror. But we can go out here thinking it's all cool to judge others. But when we get judged back, get your whole attitude because they're getting judged back. Now, that's going to be a negative consequence on your part, because you didn't look yourself in the mirror first. First, look yourself in the mirror. Then see what you had did wrong. So then you know how to take judgment the next time. Don't go around here just thinking it's cool to do that, because it's not. And if you do that, negative consequences are going to follow that. Isn't that right? That is absolutely right. Those are important things I have said. Give time to get time back. Look yourself in the mirror. Judge yourself first before you judge others. Because if you don't, you're going to have a consequence that's going to follow you. So that's basically your positives and negative consequences. Don't always think a consequence is a bad thing, because it's not. Consequences your actions can have good reactions or bad reactions. So I'm gonna wrap it up for y'all, ladies and gentlemen, today. I think I went into a great topic. I'm gonna put my quote in here. It goes a little something like this: the playing field is level. The choice is yours to make. You can either make a good decision or a bad decision. It can either have a positive or a negative impact on you and the people around you. So I have to say for y'all Xanaman listeners and dear viewers for today, have a great one, and we will see you in the next go round. Peace out.